Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I welcome to all the students of class 3rd to the online class of St. Joseph's Academy, Nagar, Ghaziabad. Today we will read English Mulberry of class 3rd, chapter number 6, Tucket the Bucket, part 2. In the previous video, we have read the chapter and discussed it in detail. In today's video, we will first discuss the summary of the chapter and then we will discuss the exercises given in our book. So students, let's get started. Students, let us first discuss the summary of the chapter. So, this story is about a garden bucket named Tucket. Tucket had once been a garden favorite and the gardener used to swing him by his strong handle whenever he went to fetch water. Fetch means to collect. He had always appreciated the bucket. So the gardener used to appreciate the bucket because of its strength and because it was new and shiny. But as the time passed, the bucket grew a hole in it and after that it became useless. So Tucket was thrown into the corner of the garden and it was left out in the rain and the sun, as a result of which it began to rust. This made Tucket the saddest bucket in the world. Now students, once the gardener tripped over the bucket and then he decided to throw him away. After listening to the gardener's word, Tucket became very sad and he did not want this to happen and felt very bad, but his good friends in the garden tried to cheer him up. The squirrels set him back up when he fell over and the birds cheerfully flipped about him. It means that the birds cheerfully, very happily moved around Tucket. Next. Now what happened, students? One day a little girl came running into the garden and stepped right in front of the bucket. So one day a little girl came and stopped near the bucket and then she asked the gardener if the bucket belongs to him. And the gardener replies, yes, but if you want, you can have it. So the gardener asks the little girl if she wants to keep the bucket, she can take it. Then the girl took away the bucket and then she cleaned him under the garden hose and heavy chunks of rust fall off from the bucket. And now Tucket felt quite happy that someone is taking care of him. Now when the girl peered inside, when she looked inside the bucket, she saw a hole in it and then she said the words, even better, as she wanted a bucket with a hole in it. Next. Now the girl took him to veranda and filled him with dark brown soil. So now the girl started to fill the bucket with some dark brown soil and after that she planted a tiny rose inside it. Then she asked Tucket to help her in taking care of baby rose. Then she asked the bucket to help her in taking care of the little rose. And now Tucket felt very proud that he has again been taken care of and he has some work to do. So he straightened himself up. Then she placed the bucket in a cozy corner in the veranda to protect it from wind and rain. Now the little girl found a perfect spot, a place for the bucket to protect it from wind and rain. Next, Tucket winked and smiled at his friends in the garden. So now when Tucket's friend visited him, he smiled and winked at them and told them that he was happy now. So the squirrels chattered and the birds chirped happily, saying that they are also very happy for him, that he has got some place where he is loved, he is taken care of. Next, Tucket takes great care of the rose. The girl and his friends visited him every day, and once again Tucket becomes the happiest bucket in the world. So now the girl would visit the bucket daily, and similarly his friends, that are squirrels and the birds, they also visited the bucket daily. And now once again Tucket had become the happiest bucket in the world. So students, we are done with the summary of the chapter. Students, now we will look at the word meanings given in our book. So let's start with the first word, favorite. Favorite means a person or thing that you like more than anything else. So if you like a thing more than other things, then you will say that this is my favorite thing. For example, if I say my favorite color is black, it means that I like black color more than any other color. So, favorite means person or thing that you like more than anything else. As Tucket is, once Tucket was garden favorite. Now looking at the second word, rust. Rust means a reddish brown color that you sometimes see on iron or steel that has been wet. So when the iron or steel surface, when it becomes wet, a reddish brown layer starts forming on it. That is known as rust. Coming to the third word, tripped. Tripped means hit his foot against something and almost fell. So as we have seen in the story that the gardener tripped over the bucket. So it means that the gardener hit his foot against the bucket and he almost fell down. He was about to fall. Next word is spluttering. Spluttering means spitting water. As we have seen in the story that when the little girl was cleaning the bucket, it started to blink and splutter. So the line written in the book is, Tucket found himself blinking and spluttering. So spluttering means spitting water, throwing water. Okay. So the meaning of the word spluttering means spitting water. Now coming to the fifth word, hose. Hose means a long tube used to water plants and fight fires. So a hose is a long tube and it is used to water the plants and to set off fire. When there is fire at a place, we use a hose to fight the fire. Coming to the sixth word, peered. Peered means to look at something very closely. So, as we have seen that when the little girl was cleaning the bucket, she looked inside the bucket. It means she peered inside, and then she found that there is a hole at the bottom of the bucket. So, meaning of the word peered is looked closely because you could not see. So, when you are not able to see anything and you try to look more closely at it, it is known as peered. I repeat the meaning. Looked closely because you could not see. Now coming to the seventh word, proudly. Proudly means feeling happy about something that you have. So when you have something and you feel very happy about it, that is a proud moment for us. So when anything happens like this, when you have something and you feel very happy, it is known as proud. So the bucket proudly straightens himself. This is the thing that we have read in the story, that he straightened himself up proudly as the girl finished planting. So I repeat the meaning of proudly. Feeling happy about something that you have. So now as Tucket was having a work that it had to take care of the little rose plant, so he began to feel proud. Students, we are done with the word meanings now. Now, this exercise is given on page number 75 under the heading Make Connections and then Quick Answers. So here are some questions. Question number 1 is, choose the right answer. It has total 3 parts. Part A, Tucket was sad because. Now here you have 3 options. He was the gardener's favorite bucket. He was shiny and new. The gardener did not want him anymore. So which of them is the reason for Tucket's sadness? Yes. Very good, students. The third option is the correct answer, that the gardener did not want him anymore, as the gardener has already said the words that I should throw that bucket away. So Tucket was sad. Now part B, Tucket blinked and spluttered because. So why did Tucket blink and spluttered? He was sad. Water from the hose fell on him. He had a hole in him. So why was Tucket blinking and spluttering? Yes, we have read this in the story. Very good, students. Because water from the hose fell on him. So the second option is the correct one. Now part C. The girl put Tucket in a cozy spot on the veranda because. Number 1. She wanted to protect the rose from too much wind and rain. Second, she wanted the rose to be in the wind and the rain. And third, Tucket was dirty to be taken into the house. So which of them is the correct answer for this question? Yes, very good. Because she wanted to protect the rose from too much wind and rain. Now students, we will mark the answers in our book. So these are the answers. Now I will be reading out the question and then the answer. Okay. So Tucket was sad because the gardener did not want him anymore. Please tick the third option for part A. Part B. Tucket blinked and spluttered because water from the hose fell on him. Please tick the second part. Now, part C. The girl put Tucket in a cozy spot on the veranda because she wanted to protect the rose from too much wind and rain. For part C, we will tick the first option. Now our next exercise is reference to context. So here we have some lines taken from the story. Let us read the lines first. So this is question number 2. I should throw that bucket away. The gardener muttered. Muttered means he said when he was angry. So I repeat the line. I should throw that bucket away. The gardener muttered as he tripped over Tucket. As we have read in the story that when the gardener was walking one day, by mistake, his foot struck the bucket and he was about to fall down. And he became angry and said the words, I should throw that bucket away. Now here we have some questions. Part A. List the action words in these lines. So these lines have some action words. We have to write the action words. So we will write the answer. The action words used in these lines are throw, muttered and tripped. I repeat the answer, students. The action words are throw, muttered and tripped. Action words means verb, which is telling us about the action that is going on. Now, coming to part B. Why did the gardener want to throw the bucket away? I repeat the question. Why did the gardener want to throw Tucket away? So what was the reason that the gardener wanted to throw it away? The answer would be the gardener wanted to throw Tucket away because he had a hole. So because of the hole, the gardener wanted to throw Tucket away. I repeat the answer. The gardener wanted to throw Tucket away because he had a hole. Coming to part C of the question. Where did the gardener toss Tucket? So, after this time, the gardener throws the bucket somewhere in the garden. So, where did he toss the bucket? The answer would be the gardener tossed Tucket into the corner of the garden. So, in the corner of the garden, the bucket was thrown there. So, we will write the answer. The gardener tossed Tucket into the corner of the garden. Now, we will come to question number 3. The girl took Tucket to the veranda. So now, this line is also taken from the story and it tells us about the time when the girl took the bucket to the veranda. It means after she had cleaned the bucket. So here are 3 questions. Part A. Where did the girl find Tucket? So at what place did the girl find Tucket? The answer would be the girl found Tucket in the garden. Now part B. What did she do before she took Tucket to the veranda? So before taking it to the veranda, what did the little girl do? Yes, very good. The girl cleaned Tucket before she took him to the veranda. Now part C. What did she do after she put Tucket in the veranda? So what did she do after keeping the bucket in the veranda? The answer would be she filled him with dark brown soil and planted a tiny rose inside it. I repeat the answer. She filled him with dark brown soil and planted a tiny rose inside it. Now students, this is the next part of exercise. Read, reflect and write. Starting with question number 4. Describe Tucket when he was a new bucket. So we have to tell about the bucket when it was new. So the answer would be Tucket was gardener's favorite bucket when it was a new bucket, as he was strong and shiny. Coming to the next question. Write 2 sounds from the story. So here you have to write any 2 sounds that are being used in the story. So we can write the answer. 2 sound words are chattered and chirping. So these 2 are the sound words that we have taken from the story. You can also find another sound word and you can write it as your answer. There is no problem with that. Now coming to question number 6. What did Tucket do to show his friends that he was happy? So the answer would be Tucket winked and smiled at his friends to show them that he was happy. So after the little girl planted the rose in the bucket, Tucket began to feel happy and he winked and smiled at his friends to show them or to tell them that he was happy now. I repeat the answer for question number 6. Tucket winked and smiled at his friends to show them that he was happy. Coming to question number 7. Why do you think Tucket is happy at the end of the story? So what is the reason that you think Tucket is happy at the end? So the answer would be Tucket was happy at the end of the story because he was put to use again. Because after the gardener threw him at a corner in the garden, it felt very useless, but now as the little girl had brought the bucket back to use, so he felt happy. I repeat the answer. Tucket was happy at the end of the story because he was put to use again. So students, now we are done with question answers. Now this is our homework time. So students, you have to read the chapter again. Then you have to write the question answers in your English Mulberry copy. I hope you all have already written the word meanings in your copy. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in another video. Till then, keep studying and be safe. Thank you everyone.